And I have invested money in dumb things in my life, and everybody has at one time or another. But sooner or later, you have to become very careful with your money. I now have business relationships with three very rich people, people that I went into business with, and they had a project, real estate, and I had money. And so I invested the money with them. And they took that money and they made it grow like a crop in the fields. It grew and grew. And where I started off with a few $100,000, now I'm worth a few $1,000,000 because these were honest and careful and slow. We call people call them slow money, careful money, is they don't throw their money around. And if you ask them for an explanation, they will explain their investment or their business in detail. Many years ago, I had a great opportunity. I got into real estate and I found a piece of land and I began to develop a shopping center. And then I ran out of money because I didn't know what I was doing. But by that time, I had a business plan. So I went to people and they said, well, you've got to have a business partner who has more money than you. So I go into the newspapers and I asked people, and I went all over the city, all over the county, looking for someone with money to invest. And finally, I found a very rich man. And I went to his company and I said, I have this real estate development project and I need a partner. And so he said, well, let me take a look at it. And he gave it to his assistants and they looked at it and he said, well, it looks good. I'm going to send you to my lawyer and he's going to do an evaluation of your real estate development project. And if he likes it, well, then we will invest. And I had carefully put together every detail of the business. And his lawyer said, yes, this is a good business. This is going to be very successful. So what they did is they bought 20% of my shopping center for 100% of the money. So I ended up with 20% of the shopping center, but they put up the money. So I was able to build the shopping center. And then I was able to find a big grocery store and a big specialty store and a big liquor store. And by the time the shopping center opened, it was full. All the space had been leased out. And this wealthy man who came to the opening because it was a big celebration, he came and he said, would you like to come and work for me as my assistant? I had never had an assistant. I had never worked for anyone as an assistant. And I said, well, may I think about it? And so I thought about it and I would like to work with you as an assistant. And this man was a genius. This man was a genius. This man had what they call an iron trap memory. You could tell him something and he could quote it back to you 6 months later, absolutely perfectly, because his mind was so. And I learned so much about real estate. He would give me a project to work on, and I would go out and work on the project and come back. And I'd say, well, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And he said, well, and said, let's look at this and let's test this and let's find out. And he taught me all the little details of real estate. And that's very important for you if you're going to become wealthy. They say that the devil is in the details. The devil is in the details. It's the details that will sink you every step of the way. So number one, find out something that people want and need, and then don't lose money. And then take action. So I've put together a little explanation for you, and I'm going to send this to you, Stephen. I'm sorry it's late, but it's called Habits of Millionaires and Billionaires. And it's based on the interviews of thousands and thousands of people over the last 100 years who started from nothing and became millionaires or billionaires. And you'll find that there's a consistency throughout the things that they do. So number one habit that they have is hard work and self-discipline. It's very important to understand it. One of the things about successful people is that they like to work. They love to work. The 80-20 rule applies to every business and every business opportunity in our society, yours and mine, is that 80% of people are looking for ways to avoid money, to avoid working, to dodge the work. They're looking for ways to start later. They're looking for ways to start earlier. You can tell, interesting, if you work in a company, and if you can see me, you can see behind me, you can see my clock on the wall. And you'll find that in a business, you have two types of people, and they can be detected by the way they look at the clock. Now, what does the clock mean to you? Well, the clock means this is how much longer you can work. So it's how much longer you can get results. It's how much longer you can be successful. And so that's what successful people think about, is that I'm racing against the clock to get more work done. What do unsuccessful people think about the clock? They think the clock tells them when they can stop working. And they're always watching the clock, and looking at stopping working. And it's quite amazing because I'll give you an example. I was giving a seminar in a large movie theater some years ago, and there were about 800 to 1,000 people in the room, in the theater. And I was giving a seminar on business, negotiating, management, time management, really good subjects. And of course, I'm a good presenter. And at exactly 10 minutes to 5, about 100 people stood up and walked out of the seminar. They stood up and walked out. And I was in the front of the stage, and this is a big insult to a speaker if 100 people get up and walk out in the middle of your talk. And so then my seminar was over at about 5 o'clock, and people left. And so I asked my clients, I said, what happened there? Why did all of those people just get up and leave? And he said, oh, you have to understand, they work for the government. I said, they work for the government. Yes, and the government, they are allowed to stop working and put their things away 10 minutes before quitting time. And then at quitting time, which is 5 o'clock, they're allowed to leave and they don't have to work anymore. That's exactly what happened. At about 10 minutes to 5, everybody started to put their stuff to get away. And then at 5 o'clock, at 5 o'clock, so that's a mark, is successful people look at the clock and they're always thinking about doing more work. And they're always thinking about how they're competing.
You can be a part of a conference where real estate experts will share tips on sharing Houston's real estate future.
Yeah, whether you are a developer, investor, or just getting started in real estate, Stephen Akintayo is here with more details on how to attend the event. Welcome, Stephen, to the show.
Good to be here.
It's great to meet you. I want to let our viewers know just a little bit about your resume. So you are a Forbes recognized investment coach, serial entrepreneur, host, author, the list goes on and on.
Yeah. You're busy.
And we were chatting during the break about this conference. I think it's a really cool concept. Anyone can attend, but specifically for immigrants who are living here and maybe have not dabbled in real estate, this conference is really to let them know, hey, you can do this and we're going to teach you how.
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at some of the data, people of color haven't invested much in real estate. Some data tells you just 8% or less than 8% of black people own their own property. And so I think there is that fear of, do I invest? And sometimes people have done it and they probably it went bad. Also, people also don't understand the investment aspect of that, because sometimes you just want to have a home. Meanwhile, real estate is actually a vehicle for investment. where you can own properties and people, of course, pay you rental income. And once you can do it such that the rental income is higher than the mortgage, now you have a source of passive income. And that's really how you build wealth.
Wow. Okay, so you're teaching people how to build wealth. What if they don't have a background in real estate? Do you need to have a little bit of real estate knowledge to do this?
Not at all. I think that's the essence of the event, that even people who don't have the background can now learn and connect with experts who have done it.
Visit www.stephenakinteo.com/GWF USA to book your seat now.
Because you have something special. I don't know you. I can't see you. You have greatness in you. You have the ability to do more than you can ever begin to imagine. And so as you think about some goal that you want to achieve personally, financially, and then your social contribution, what will be different in the world because you showed up? I believe that you were chosen. All of us, we have built-in greatness. We're made in the likeness and image of God. We've been given power and authority and dominion over everything on the face of the earth. But when you come up in a culture where you're marginalized and things are designed to destroy your sense of self, things have been put together to exclude you from participating in living your dream and living the full expression of your greatness, then that impacts you. So I'm going to repeat to you constantly, you have something special. You have greatness in you, and you have to take it upon yourself to do exactly what you're doing now. Engage in a process that will affirm you, that will validate you, that will empower you, that will help you to begin to get a larger vision of yourself. And as you think about your goals and dreams, I want you to expand them. Why? Because most people fail not because they aim too high and miss. Most people fail because they did what I did, aim too low and hit. This Les Brown that you now hear, that you now see, I could have been doing this much longer, but I didn't believe in myself. And so therefore, I didn't even attempt to do what I'm doing right now. I discounted myself. I rejected myself. And all of us go through those experiences in life. Studies indicate that 86% of us, when we think about something we want to do, we talk ourselves out of it, that negative self-talk. And that's why Shakespeare said the fault, dear Brutus, is in our stars, not in ourselves. So I say to you that your dream is possible, and you've got to decide that it's necessary. So you got to get an attitude about it. See, because it's going to be challenging. You're going to encounter a lot of failures, a lot of setbacks. Things are going to happen. Think it not strange that you'll face the fiery furnaces of this world. You will, not you might, you will have tribulations. Things are going to happen out of nowhere that you never saw coming. When I was diagnosed with prostate cancer, and I had 238 radiation seed implants because the tumor was so large, that was a disruption. I was praying every day, sleeping with the Bible, the Torah, the Holy Quran. Let me tell you something, the Kabbalah. I was calling on Jesus, Yahweh, Allah, everybody. It's amazing how spiritual you become when you think you're on the way out of here. And I'm here because of God's grace and mercy. And so you got to have a mindset that this dream is a non-negotiable. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make the radical change in myself in order to achieve the dream, because I know you don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are. I'm going to do this. I know that it's necessary. As I think about my goal and dream, it's necessary that I'm willing to learn. See, if you're not willing to learn, no one can help you. But if you're willing to learn, no one can stop you. See, the majority of people are not willing to learn something new and to take different directions with their lives, make new decisions in their lives. We make decisions, and our decisions make us. Congratulations for you participating in this forum right now, because that's a decision that's going to govern and impact the quality of your life. Yes, you're going to face a lot of stuff, and it's not personal. Don't ask, why did this have to happen to me? Why not you? Who would you suggest? I'm telling you, so much stuff happened to me. I have this thing, if life knocks you down, try and land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. So it's possible that you could have your dream, and you've got to decide that your dream is necessary, that it's a non-negotiable, and that is you. George Washington Carver said, do what you can where you are with what you have and never be satisfied. It's you. It's you. There will be obstacles. Yes. Now, if you're born in a wealthy family, that will help. If you have all the resources that you need, that will help. But if you don't have those things, it's you. The major key to your living your dream, living a life on your terms, living the life that you want, a life that you design, and not the one that has been given you, it's on you. That's it. George Bernard Shaw said, the people that make their dreams happen in this life, they look around for the circumstances that they want, and if they can't find them, they create them. We were created by the Creator to create. People that are hungry find a way to win. You got to be hungry. If you're casual about your dream will end up a casualty. People that are hungry always strive to get on top in life, because it's the bottom that's overcrowded. People that are hungry know that you will fail your way to success. People that are hungry take no prisoners and eat the wounded, and they start at their ears. And it's hard. I wish I could tell you that it's easy. No. This thing called life is going to bring you to your knees, and it's hard. And if you do what is easy, give up, throw in the towel. If you do what is easy, give your power over to the adversities that you are experiencing or things that have happened to you. If you do what is easy, surrendering to the challenges of life, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, stand up inside yourself. Be of good courage. Know that faith not tested can't be trusted. Anchor yourself in the knowing He'll never leave you nor forsake you. No. Start thinking and living from the power. Great is He that's in you than he that's in the world. Those are not just words. No. Having a spirit of optimism, being relentless, being willing to persevere, and being willing to persist until you succeed.
I know there's a long panel of speakers, and when you talk about passive income, and immigrants coming to this country oftentimes are looking for a better life, right? And one of the ways you can make a better life is by creating stability financially, right? Not just for for yourself, but for your family and future generations.
I mean, most asset class either help you to make money, or help you to multiply money, or help you to save money. Real estate does four. It helps you to make money, help you to manage money, help you to save money, and help you to transfer that money to the next generation. So a lot of asset classes can't do that. The crypto won't do 4 level of that, even buying equities, which is good, but some of them can't do those 4 things for you. Real estate is the only asset class that can help you achieve all that.
Right. And back to the keynote speakers, we were showing a list of who's going to be on the panel speaking. And I think just being around people who have achieved receive something and they're a wealth of knowledge. You want to listen to their advice.
Yeah.
What if you can't attend in person? Is there an opportunity for maybe a virtual attendance?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, funny enough, we're even having people attend from other countries.
Oh, wow.
Because there are a lot of people who still want to invest in the U.S. even though they don't live here.
Right.
Particularly for some of them who are from Africa.
People might be wondering, what's the cost of this?
So yes, I think the cost is quite reasonable. Because it's less than $200, to attend it virtually, and to attend in person as well. I think it's just around that range as well. I think there was a discount given, so they could go to the site and see they take advantage of the discount coupons.
And the idea here is really you're investing in yourself to invest in your future. You are teaching people essentially how to fish to create a better life.
Absolutely, and I think that I always share that the first journey when it comes to building wealth is to start with the knowledge of wealth creation.
Visit www.stephenakinteo.com/GWFUSA to book your seat now.
Positional authority says, follow me because of who I am. I'm the leader here. I'm the supervisor. Leadership authority says, follow me not only because of who I am, I do have a title, but follow me also because what I say. I say things that are helpful to you and lift you. And so therefore, it's not only my title, but it's also my words. And that's a level above positional authority. But the one that I'm going for, because I'm talking about essentials of leadership today, is the third one, which is moral authority. And moral authority says, follow me because of who I am, because of what I say, and follow me, don't miss this, because of what I do. That's moral authority. When you have the position, the title, when you have the words, and then when you have the behavior and the action. For example, one of the things I try to help leaders do and understand is that they need to live good values if they want their people to have good values. And values are not taught, values are caught. The teaching is what they hear. The catching is what they see. And what we have learned as we have done leadership transformational values around the world, we've trained 5 million leaders in every country of the world. And what we have discovered is, without any question, is that when people learn good values and they begin to live good values, guess what? They become more valuable. They become more valuable to their own self. They become more valuable to their family. They become more valuable to their business. But values, it's on the inside. It's here. What I'm encouraging you to do today when I talk to you about being the example and living what you say is I'm encouraging you to be better on the inside than you are on the outside, and to be bigger on the inside than you are on the outside. I do a lot of work with companies around the world. And in America, there's a very successful restaurant company called Chick-fil-A. And I've worked with Chick-fil-A for many, many years. It's as far as the fast food business, it's at the top of that business. And they're great people of values. And Truett Cathy, who was the founder, who's now passed away, but was a wonderful friend. His son Dan now leads the organization, who's a close friend. Truett was pressured by his board to build more stores. And they kept saying, we need to get bigger. We need to get bigger. We need to get bigger. We need to grow. We need to advance. And Truett would say, no. You don't understand. He said, we need to get better. He said, when we get better, the customer will demand that we get bigger. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about living what you say. When I was a young leader, I made a decision. I was only 25, so I was very young as a leader. But I made a decision that has been with me for many, many years now. And I want to pass it on to you because it's helped me so much. And that decision was that I was only going to teach in leadership what I truly lived. If I didn't live it, if I didn't believe it, I wouldn't teach it. Because my temptation as a young leader was to lead beyond myself, to lead in areas that I did not yet know, or lead in areas I did not experience, or lead in areas that perhaps I didn't even do myself. You see, it's not important that you believe me, but it's important that I believe me. And that's what I'm talking about when I say live what you say. Live what you teach. I mean, I just said I'm not going to teach what I don't live. I'm not going to do it. And the result of that is it helped me to become what I would call a transformational leader. You see, the world needs demonstration more than instruction. And yet most leaders, what they want to do is talk all the time. They want to instruct, they want to point, and they say, do this and go there. And that's not what great leaders, the essentials of leadership is, before I ask you to do it, I do it. Before I ask you to pay that price, I've paid that price. Before I ask you to take that journey, I've taken that journey. That's where I get credibility as a leader. That's where I get buy-in as a leader. That's when I can truly say those, what I call those great words, life-changing words that every leader needs to be able to say to his or her people. And those are the words, follow me. The moment I can say to you, follow me, watch me, stay close to me, I'll show you exactly how to do this. Now I have integrity, I have credibility, I have authenticity as a leader. This is huge. So the first essential of leadership is just very simple. Live what you say. If you don't live it, don't say it. In fact, if you don't live it, you disqualify yourself to be the leader of the people. People should only have to follow a leader who lives what they say. The second essential in leadership is for you to lift people by adding value to them. Wow. I want to do a good job teaching this because it is essential to your leadership. A few years ago, I was in Kiev, Ukraine, and I was getting ready to speak to 15,000 people in a live coliseum, and my translator was in the green room with me, and he was talking to me about my books. He said, John, I've read your books. He said, I'm so honored to be your translator. He said, this is just going to be wonderful. But he said, I want to, before you go out, and he's talking to me about 10 minutes before I go out to speak. He said, before you go out, I just want you to know, John, that you believe in adding value to people, and you say leaders always add value to people. That's a very strong core of your leadership message. And he said, you're about to go out to talk to people who for 70 years were under communism. And when you go out and say leaders add value to people, they're not going to understand what you're saying, because all they've ever seen is leaders take advantage of people, abuse their leadership position, put themselves first as leaders instead of the people. So he said, when you walk out and you start that message, leaders add value to people, you're going to disconnect with them immediately because they have never known a leader that added value to them.
And sometimes we're so eager to want to, okay, can I buy a house? Can I invest in this? No, invest in the knowledge before the investment itself. For me, I started my business with $10 back in Africa.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and one of the books that helped me was Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, Richest Man in Babylon, about savings. These are powerful books. And the authors were American. I was in Nigeria.
Wow.
And I was reading these books and they were changing my life. And before you knew it, I grew our business, to different countries. We're in Nigeria, we're in Dubai, we're in UK, and we're here in the US as well. We just acquired 40 acres. We're about building over 400 unit housing here as well. So for me, it's sharing that knowledge as to how I started from nothing and how anybody else can do the same as well. And one of the things that I think is important is connecting with people with win-win relationship. I think some of our relationships are quite toxic and it's not mutually beneficial. Once I've noticed a lot of wealthy friends I meet, the conversation is, what are we exchanging? Right? Are you doing business with me or am I doing business? There's a purpose for those relationships. There's value. And so we should target getting those relationships this year that is going to add value to you. It has to be mutually beneficial.
Amen.
Visit www.stephenakinteo.com/GWF USA to book your seat now.
Of my content. That's how I calculate it. How much you earn, how much you put in the pocket. Now, here's my question to you. If the theory of consumption is true, and we have no content for people to consume, how are they going to buy from us? Or right now, if you want high-ticket client, and you don't have 10 hours of content for people to consume, how are we gonna leverage and activate the theory of consumption? Do you see the problem? Then we're not working smart, we're working hard. Put in chat, how many of you are sick and tired of working hard and not working smart? Put in chat, right? How do you work smart? By having content that's out there that's working 24/7 for you. Right now, as I'm teaching you live right now, guess what? Someone somewhere is watching my content somewhere. I'm not there. What content does, here's what people don't understand. What content does is it builds relationships and builds trust with your potential clients without your physical presence. Write this down. It builds trust and relationship with potential clients without your physical presence. Has nothing to do with your time, except the time that you put in for a one-time work, right? People are still watching my videos that I created 6-7 years ago. I look a little different. I'm a little bit older now, a little bit more gray hair, right? But they're still watching the content, right? How many of you watched my content before coming to this masterclass? Put in the chat. How many watched maybe my video, maybe watched my, saw me on Instagram or saw a post? There you go. So we're building a relationship. Thank you, right? We're building a relationship before we connect in here. You see how that works? What if you could do the same thing? What if you do the same thing? Anthony read my book too, appreciate it, right? What if you do the same thing? And you could do the same thing. So let's talk about the ladder of authority. So, write this down. To sell high ticket, to make more money to grow your business. So there's the ladder of authority. At the very bottom, you have what I call instability. What's the word? Instability. So instability, what does it sound like? It sounds like this. Sometimes when I talk to a business owner, and I ask them, hey, how's your business? And they say, Dan, my business is fine. It's fine. Well, fine is actually an acronym. It stands for freaked out, not making enough money, right? And emotionally stressed out. So freaked out, in debt, not making enough money, and emotionally stressed out. FINE stands for fine. When someone says, my business is fine, it means instability. They don't even know if they're gonna generate enough money that month to cover the bills, to meet the payroll, to make enough money. Instability. And most businesses, brand new, guess what? They are not stable. They're at this instability stage. True? Right? They're not sure if they're gonna make it. It's a lot of uncertainty and a lot of unpredictability, right? And then you have the next level is what I call invisibility. Write this down, invisibility, right? You are the world's best kept secret, and no one knows that you exist. No one knows that you exist. People don't know you. So for some, the problem is, it's not that your product is not good. It's not that your service is not good. Your service is good. Your product is good. And you provide value. You know what the problem is? People don't know that you exist. People don't know that your product exists. People don't know that your brand exists. True? That's the problem. And if you're invisible, they cannot buy. Not that they don't want to buy, they cannot buy because they don't know your brand. Are you with me? They don't know your brand. That's the issue. That's the biggest issue for most business owners. Not that they don't do good work. Not that they're not good. Not that they don't. It's not that they don't care about the clients. No, it's none of that. It's people don't know. How many would agree? There's a lot of noise in the marketplace. Being good is not good enough. Being good just, I'm good. But if people don't know it, you might as well not be good. It's the same. It's no difference. Being good and being known and being visible. So people know you. Now that's the key. So there's no relationship between being good at what you do and getting paid. Please remember this. There's no relationship between being good and getting paid. There's a huge relationship between being good at what you do, being visible, and getting paid. We won't get paid until we're visible. So think about if, for those who've been avoiding to create content, social media, to promote your own personal brand, you are holding yourself back. You understand? You're delaying your success. Whatever it is in your mind that's holding you back. I don't know, I'm not ready, I don't sound good, I'm camera shy, whatever mental hurdles you have that's holding you back. We're going to fix it. We're going to fix it today. And then next level is you have marketability. When you reach marketability, people actually want what you sell. So they're buying from you. There's a little bit of trust. Right? There's a market for it. People say that I like it. Right? I am willing to exchange my money for your value. Good. And the next level is you have credibility. Now people not just you're marketable, you're credible. People know you, they like you, they trust your brand. In some cases, they send you referrals. So I want you to think about this as I go through this, right? Think about where you're at. You got to be very honest, right? Are you in stability? Are you at invisibility? Are you at marketability? Are you at credibility, right? Credibility. And then next level you have is visibility. Now, it seems like you are everywhere. You have what I call top of mind awareness, right? And you kind of dominate the news feed when they go online. Now notice, right? I said you appear, it kind of seems to be everywhere, but you're not actually everywhere. You only want to be everywhere for your ideal clients. You with me? You only want to be kind of everywhere. Now I'll teach you how. But you're going to want to be everywhere for your ideal clients. So they see you all the time. They see you all the time. So you're visible. You're visible.
Hi, my name is Maria Balogisha Israel.
Ibrahim Brahman, I'm a property investor.
And I just want to thank Dr. Stephen Akintai and all the guest speakers.
Little did I know I'd be in the room with billionaires.
I was on the panel, I'm able to share my story, which from feedback people have taken inspiration from. But the big thing about this event is not just about inspiration, it's about turning that inspiration into action.
Inspired me and motivated me to want to build wealth, invest, and really take my business to a next level.
And my opinion has changed 360 degrees. So I'm giving you a very honest opinion. And the reason why, because the host, Dr. Stephen, he has put on a fabulous event, and every speaker that has spoken into my life.
Opportunity, and I appreciate you all so much.
Thank you, Dr. Stephen.
So much for this opportunity. God bless you.
To be here and to be able to share this with you all right now.